At 4ZZZ, we acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we broadcast. We pay our respects to the elders past, present and emerging of the Turrbal and Jagera people. We acknowledge that their sovereignty over this land was never ceded.
And we stand in solidarity with them.
You're listening to Tranzmission on 4ZZZ, amplifying the trans and gender non-conforming voices of Brisbane and beyond.
Good morning, Brisbane! My name is Liz Witt. An ever-increasing presence on 4ZZZ recently as the flu seems to be sneaking through and taking everybody out like a skilled sniper. But it's all right because I'm not alone. I am delighted to be joined by the main host of today's show.
Oh, main host.
Yeah.
Fancy. Hello, I'm Ray. I use they, them pronouns, and I am pumped to be here despite the fact that it is quite chilly.
It is. It is freezing out this morning. Let's do the old mic swap tango. And there's a reason why you're here today, Ray, isn't there? Because it's a special day.
There is, and I love the mic swap tango. This has happened a number of times, and I think it's all about having to transition between microphones. It's all about that good trans content.
We are all about transitioning here at Transmission Industries. So let's talk about it. It's not today, but yesterday was International
Non-Binary Day. So International Non-Binary Day is celebrated yesterday on July 14th, and it's a day where we acknowledge and celebrate non-binary and gender diverse people and recognise that gender is not just limited to male and female. And I didn't know this fact when I was doing a bit of research, but International Non-Binary Day was first celebrated in 2012 and was started by Karch van Loon. Now I've probably pronounced that wrong. But the date was chosen because it's midway between International Women's Day and International Men's Day.
Oh my God, stop!
I had no idea, and I think that's amazing.
That's phenomenal.
Go off.
See, this has always been my argument for why the 26th of January is a terrible, stupid, dumb date for any kind of Australia Day. And if you were going to be in the camp where you wanted to have a celebration of Australia on a different day, it must be May 8th.
Yeah.
If you have the chance to try and create a new, observable day, a new holiday, why would you not, lean into the fact that you can make a pun, you can be silly, you can have a little fun, hee-ha-ha-ha.
Just have a good time. And I feel like I'm with International Non-Binary Day, I'm like, you know what? I both love and hate that it's between both those days. I think that's beautiful. Go off.
Right, the idea that non-binary is the third one in the middle as well is funny.
I'm like, that is some, I love and support the spectrum of gender, but it is also a universe. And I also like the idea of just creating a day, it is kind of with gender itself. You can just create your own gender and say that, I'm this gender, these are my pronouns. And then you can also, I didn't even think of this. You can go create your own day. To be honest, I'm about it. What if I were to, I don't know, I actually can't think of a day that I would create. I was like, what am I passionate about?
The moment you brought the idea of bringing a new holiday into existence, everyone who is listening had every idea for a holiday they've ever had vanish from their brains.
Oh my God, no, it's when people are like, what have you been reading lately? I'm like, no idea.
I don't know how to read.
Yeah, no, basically exactly that. I'm like, I have no idea.
Your favourite song? I don't have ears anymore.
Yep, I have. Before the show, we were talking about music. I'm like, you know what? I've forgotten every musician that I have ever listened to, and that's fine. I'm very excited, as we were saying before, that International Non-Binary Day was yesterday, but the celebrations that are happening will be in September. So that's through International Non-Binary Day here in Magandjin, and that'll be on Saturday the 6th of September from 2 p.m. till 10 p.m. At Yuggera Hall. So it's a bit later in the year, but it'll still be an amazing celebration. So yeah, if you want to put that date in your calendar, Saturday the 6th of September, and the organisers will be releasing stallholder and performer applications soon as well, which is very exciting. So if you're interested in running a stall or if you're interested in performing, then there's a new website, which is very exciting, INBD, so International Non-Binary Day, Magandjin, MAGANDJIN.com, so inbdmagandjin.com, or you can follow International Non-Binary Day on Instagram and other socials to stay afloat of that. And yeah, highly recommend getting involved and volunteering, get in a stall, get your zines together, get your drag together. Let's go.
Get the long arm stapler out, dust it off, write some poetry, cut up a magazine, turn that into poetry.
Yes, sell it, do some, do some cool drag acts.
I have peeked behind the curtain of a non-binary day. And my favourite part is enough people bring their giant IKEA shark plushies that they designed and printed name labels to attach to the giant shark plushies so that nobody lost their giant shark plushie in the big pool of giant shark plushies.
That is the most trans statement I think I've heard in months.
It's a beautiful thing.
That is beautiful. I feel left out. I don't have a shark plushie. I think I would if it was pink.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think if there was a pink one, I would go for it.
You are a pink individual?
Yeah. I feel like pink is a gender neutral colour.
I agree. There's that very overplayed. Well, back 200 years ago, pink was a colour for little boys.
Yeah, and I'm like, I just don't care. Pink is a colour, and it's for all people, as is clothes, as is International Non-Binary Day, because I was thinking one of my favourite things about Non-Binary Day is when people go to the event and they're like, I've never seen someone like me in this space before, but I've seen people who dress like me. I now have finally, found people to talk to. I've found community, and that's such an incredibly, beautiful thing to actually find your people. So I'd highly recommend going, even if you're like, oh, I'm not non-binary enough, or
if you're cis, or if you're binary trans. I still think there is no point in siloing our communities.
Yes.
Just because an event is called Non-Binary Day and is celebrating non-binary people and is for non-binary people, come along.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we'll slowly convert you to non-binarism. No, I'm kidding. Non-binarism?
Non-binarism?
No, non-binary, yeah. No, but I agree. I think, it's important. And as you said, we can't, continue to silo, community. I think it's important that we're all in this together. And yeah, if you're a lovely, binary trans person, especially I think if you are someone who's questioning gender and stuff, definitely come along. And if you're a well-behaved cis person, please come along as well. I think it's going to be a beautiful time. It's in September. It is a little while away, but as I said, pop that date in your diary, the 6th of September.
When we are talking about Non-Binary Day today as well, dear listeners, all of you out there, no matter what your identity is, I want you to take a moment to just think about every little piece of yourself that makes you up and what conforms naturally, what is different and unique, or what rubs against the expectations of society, and just whether or not you are curious about non-binary gender identities, or whether you're so happily the gender that you are. Just consider the multitudes that you contain and take a moment to celebrate that with us. That's I think is a nice...
I think that's beautiful, and I think that's exactly it. If there's things that you do that, even if it's I just refuse to shave my mustache and it annoys people, but that's what I'm going to do, or you're what, I actually wear really nice skirts or something, or whatever it is, keep doing that thing. Or if you're that's something that you want to contemplate.
Or me, with the hobbies of a retired 68-year-old plumber called Greg, keep aquarium animals.
I was like, and as someone with the hobbies of like a retired grandma who just like knits and like sits in a recliner chair, yeah, do that as well. Do whatever you want. Gender's a hot mess and a farce and a social construct. So you do you.
And we need a bit of celebration.
We do. And I think we're going to read some amazing poems by non-binary
As
authors
is
today.
the traditional mode of gender non-conforming celebration.
I do. There are like an incredible amount of poets with the same name as me, and I'm like, you know what? That are non-binary, and I'm like, you know what? Go off. Like, yeah,
We can share.
100%.
We
Let's
can
go.
pass the ball around.
Exactly. It is. It's all about sharing. It's all about community. And I'm so here for the. What did you say? Your vibe is dad rock. Like,
Divorced dad rock.
Divorced. Emphasis on the divorced. Very good. Very good.
Look, he's learning a lot about himself. You know, it's been a difficult process, but he's going to come out through the other side stronger for it.
And look, I would encourage, if there are any divorced dads listening, to also write poetry. And I mean that in a, funny way, but also genuinely, like entirely sincerely, because poetry is something that obviously I'm incredibly passionate about as a poet, but it is also something that is incredibly cathartic and can help you work through a lot of things in your life.
Because our listeners may not know, but you are a poet.
I am a poet. I do a lot of poeming. I've published 2 poetry collections, and I, alongside Alison Evans, who is an amazing YA author in NAM, I run NB Life Journal, which is a journal for non-binary and gender diverse creatives. So we publish a lot of incredible artists and creatives and poets, and I was going to read some of the work that we've published in the last couple of years today. So first I wanted to read a poem that we published back last year, and it's by Gabi Cadenhead, who is a poet and composer living on unceded Gadigal and Wongal land. Their creative practice is one of intersections between story and sound, between performance and protest, between embodiment, queerness and the sacred. Gabi is a winner of the Bread and Butter Poetry Slam, a previous participant in Express Media's Toolkits poetry program, and part of the Artist Collective at Annandale Creative Arts Centre. And you can check out their work at gabicadenhead.com. And this is a poem of theirs that I had the privilege of publishing, and it is called Genderbread, a Recipe. 1. In a bowl, add 150 grams of active curiosity. Make sure it's nice and bubbly. To 350 grams of room temperature questions, and mix. 2. Add this mixture to 500 grams of your disintegrating selfhood and 10 grams of dismantling binaries, and mix with the feeling of wearing overalls for the first time. 3. At this stage, your gender will be a sticky, shaggy mess. Allow it to hydrate for 30 minutes, or 30 days, or 30 months. 4. Use the stretch and fold method. Each time you'll notice the dough becoming easier to stretch, your gender becoming more elastic. 5. Total fermentation time could take anywhere from 3 months to 8 years. 6. Shape the dough. Experiment with language to knead into the blurred edges of your emerging selfhood. 7. Let your gender proof for between 1 and 4 identity crises until it passes the poke test. 8. Bake your genderbread at 250 degrees until it makes peace with sitting in uncertainty. 9. Remove your loaf from the oven and leave it to cool. Resist the urge to slice it early. Your selfhood doesn't need to be cut into more digestible chunks. 10. Enjoy your genderbread and repeat. I love that poem so much.
Yeah, it's very... I thought it might be a little more quirky when you said that it was like the recipe format, but...
It's beautiful, and I do love a poem in a recipe format, and there's list poems, those kind of poems. Like it's really easy to kind of get the ball rolling when you have that kind of formula ahead of you, so that you're not like daunted by by, having to write a poem, which is a terrifying thought.
Oh, true.
I know, right? Like that blank page, whew, she's scary.
She is scary.
She is so scary.
So who was that one by again?
That was by Gabi Cadenhead, and we're also going to read another poem that was published in NB Life in 2023 by Jasper Peach.
Yes, this one has a content warning for swearing and transphobia. Jasper is a trans, non-binary and disabled writer, speaker and parent. They're passionate about equitable access and inclusion, focused around the dismantling of misplaced shame via storytelling. Their written work has been published in The Age, Higher Up, The Big Issue, Archer, The Guardian, Veranda, Australian Poetry Journal, ABC and SBS Online. Damn!
Go
and now
off,
4ZZZ.
I know, right?
With a background in Auslan interpreting, broadcasting and civil celebrancy, writing has continued their personal trend of being all about communication and community. Their first book, You'll Be a Wonderful Parent, was published in March 2023 by Hardy Grant and is a celebration of rainbow families of all time. This one, probably a little heavier than that, but it's called How Exciting, You're Changing Your Name. Dance. I said, dance. Gay for play for pay, queers for fears. We don't want to see your tears, just some smiley, shiny glitter. Don't be bitter, don't task me with excitement. I stare at the stat decks, footnote 2, and supporting statement, footnote 1. I am allowed to do this because I haven't done it in the last 12 months, and I'm not using vulgar descriptors. I haven't been bankrupt or arrested. There are defaults in my name. I ticked no, but I don't know what it means. The right answers will get me a new piece of paper, a bigger to-do list. A difficult conversation with my mother where I'll tell her I've rejected the first gift she gave me after she gave me life. Everything comes back to my heart, tugging towards hers. The way I would ask her always, what would you have named me if I was a boy? Seeing if she would trip up, answer differently, sometimes saying, sometimes you are. Banks, passport, doctor, flybys, my name on the kindergarten newsletter, NDIS, will I go on some list? Is there a pre-made list online I can trudge through, around and over? I feel tiny and far away from all the places. I'll need to clear my throat and ask them to please change their records of who I am and what they can say when they call my name. Grief laced with a call to relentless fucking bravery. I could sleep for a decade and still not feel rested from all this asks of me. Daily, please don't she at me. Excited? This is a quiet sigh, gently letting go of another period of time laced with reckoning, a beckoning future as myself would be nice, quiet and new, safe, true.
Oh, God, the line "I could sleep for a decade and still not feel rested" just like got me. I kind of felt that in my weary soul.
Very close to home, right? So that was How Exciting, You're Changing Your Name by Jasper Peach. That was really beautiful. Thank you for curating that selection of poems this morning.
I'm honestly so honoured to have been able to publish those poems. And yeah, if you want to head to nblife.net, we publish a lot of poetry and amazing creative stuff all the time, and I reckon we'll probably do another call out for artists at some point this year. Quickly, I want to quote one of my favourite non-binary poets, Dan Hogan, from their collection Secret Third Thing, and this is just a
Secret Third Thing is such a good... Sorry.
It's such a good... Honestly, they did a poll about what they should call their book, and Secret Third Thing was the name that and it's beautiful. It sticks. It's an incredible collection. It's through Quartite Books, and the quote that I wanted to share is from their poem "Non-Binary," as in ... and the quote is just exactly kind of how I feel about being non-binary. Not non-binary in relation to bourgeoisie conceptualizations of woman and man and femme and masc, but non-binary as in my interior world does not match the interests of capital. And I was like, yeah, go off. Good.
Yeah, go off.
Honestly, they're incredible, incredible poet, and there are so many incredible non-binary poets out there. You could be one too, if you are non-binary or questioning. I'm trying to recruit people into poetry.
And have access to a word processor or notebook and photocopier.
Go write poems.
We have had someone text in and, hey, hello, how you going? Love the show. I'm a divorced straight bloke with one straight son. Hell yeah, you got my music taste. A book of poetry that has helped me through some tough times is the Staying Alive trilogy, edited by Neil Astley. The Staying Alive trilogy by Neil Astley. We're going to look into that one, Ant. Thank you so much for the suggestion.
Amazing. Yeah, definitely send us, if you've got poets and poems and collections that you want to recommend or give a shout out to, send us through a text.
Amplifying the voices of the trans and gender non-conforming community of Magandjin, Brisbane and beyond.
Transmission on 4ZZZ brings you the latest in trans community news, music and events.
Every Tuesday from 9am till 10am.
Join our team of hosts for an hour of celebrating the unique perspectives of the trans community.
Transmission, Tuesday mornings from 9am till 10am on 4ZZZ.
This is Transmission. My name is Liz Witt. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm here with
Ray, and I am also a they, them.
Loves
it's
it.
Non-binary day celebrations.
That's right. And on this non-binary day celebrations, it was actually yesterday, we have already run out of time.
We have. I know. I can't believe this show has gone so incredibly quickly. Thank you for everyone listening to our poetry segment. If you've written a poem in that time,
text it through.
Please text it through. We would love to hear it. Feel free to also tag us on social medias, on various different social medias, Trans Radio on Instagram. Send through your poem to us. We would love if you've written one.
A shout out to Sass, who's just sent us a giant collection of non-binary coded hearts. We love you, Sass, our wonderful ex-sponsorship coordinator, who is a absolute gender gremlin for the ages.
Gender gremlin for the ages is someone's got to pick that up as their memoir title.
We can only hope.
Gorgeous.
Now, Transmission may be coming to an end, but the trans camaraderie is certainly far from over, because the upcoming 491 Fest, or should I say 493, because it's 491 the second time they're doing it. That was not a good joke. But I will try. What else have we got coming up, Ray?
We also have Magandjin's People's Pride, which is coming up this Saturday, the 19th, and that's at Jagera Hall once again. There's a rally and march at 1 o'clock at King George Square, kicking it off, and then at 2 p.m. until late. There's markets, there's live bands. We've got amazing faves, Queerbait, Pegging, Chemical Prisoner, Apollo, who we had in the studio the other week, Freya and Georgina, and there's also going to be a drag show kicking off at 8 p.m. So that's this Saturday, People's Pride at Yuggera Hall.
Loves it. Just to repeat again, the 491 upcoming event, they're doing it again. They're raising money for trans people. As we all should.
That's what I was like,
and
please, yes, good.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you to everyone who texted in. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you so much. This was a beautiful, beautiful show.
Yeah. All right, let's kick it non-binary style for the rest of the day. All right, see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Thank you so much for listening to Transmission. See you next Tuesday, 9 to 10 a.m. on 4ZZZ.